Staying on the path that I've chosen, straight up, come my way, and I'll see you at the top. 'Cause something's gonna happen in this story.
I'm Brenda, and I'm 49 years young. And let's see, we've been on the road about 2 months now.
And I'm Karen. I'm 53. And this is Dexter, and he is 13. And he's got 2 little kitty sisters that are hiding somewhere.
Okay, so we come from Tucson. We've been living in Tucson about 6 years, and we were both working jobs where we had no paid time off. Made it difficult to get back home to Indiana, where we're both from. 2,000 miles away, grandkids, lots of family. Hated that we couldn't see all of them more. Hated that we couldn't travel more, because we love to travel. It's, you know, our favorite thing to do. And we're kind of feeling stuck and desperate. And one day we were just hanging out at the pool, and on one of her rare days off, and all of a sudden just this thing popped into my head, just came from nowhere. And I just said it out loud without thinking anymore. I just said, what if we got an RV and just lived in it and traveled in it all the time? And it came out of my mouth, and I'm like, oh, she's not going to buy this. But she said.
Yeah. I was like, wow, that's a good idea. I have my grandparents who in the 70s did the same thing. When they retired, they bought a travel trailer, and they traveled until they found somewhere they wanted to be and got to see a lot of the country. And so it wasn't a foreign idea to me, and I was kind of homesick too, so I thought, let's make a plan.
Cool. So what was your plan? How did that come together?
Well, immediately we hit the internet, or just Google, you know, RV full-time, and little by little all these blogs started coming up, and resources, and I was just blown away by the huge community that was out there. I had no idea. And so we just started reading everything we could, and we kind of gave ourselves a goal of being on the road in about 2.5 years from that time, and that was...
I don't think we really set up a specific time. We just started thinking, let's start downsizing, and we continued to... We were hoping to do it in about 2 years or so.
Yeah. And
we just continued to downsize. About every year we get to a smaller apartment, start getting rid of more stuff. And I think the final thing was we started looking, because I started Craigslisting looking for RVs. And we started seeing really, really good deals on some RVs. And we found one, this Bounder, that we absolutely fell in love with. And I think that was the catalyst that really got us to the point where we knew it was going to happen within 6 months or a year. What we have is a 94 Bounder. It's a 34J, which is a 34.5 foot, with about 100,000 miles on it. We were looking at another one. We were actually going to try to stick to under 32 feet, thinking that would not limit where we could go. And we had found another one that looked like a good deal, and it turned out we were dealing with some crazy people. Ended up backing out of that deal, and about a month later came across this one. What we liked about this one so much is the floor plan. It had pretty much everything on our wish list. It was in excellent condition, and it had a bathtub. Absolutely fell in love with the bathtub. And the walk around where we had the corner cabinet that just gave us that much more storage. Bought it right then and there. That it was a steal of a deal. We had it looked at. Everybody said, you know, mechanically it was great. Everything else we figured we could redo. And so we bought it and absolutely love it. Cool. Part of an estate. The original owner had passed away. The family was just trying to get rid of it really quick. And so we got it for under $10,000, which was just totally amazing to us.
We'd been looking around long enough to know what the value was on this particular, you know, year and model, and we knew we were many thousand under that, so we're like, we jumped on it.
And we figured, what the heck, if it was something we got and we ended up, okay, this isn't going to work for us, this isn't something we like, we didn't feel like we were out of a lot of money.
talk that in.
Prior to moving to Tucson, before we moved to Tucson, I was a police officer for the city of Indianapolis, and I did 20 years, so I was able to retire. So we are living on my pension. It's not a huge pension, but it's enough, and I've learned too that you live on what you make. The more you make, the more you spend, so it's enough that it gets us by every month. We're budgeting and just going to live on that pension. Brenda is a massage therapist, and I'll let her explain that more, but it's a way that we could supplement income. We do have ways that, if we need to, we could supplement income. But for the most part, I think we're just going to live on my pension.
Yeah, so I brought my massage table, so anytime that the opportunity arises for that, I can bring that out, and we'll do that. Also, we would in the future probably look at work camping. Oh,
didn't we? Not being really handy or mechanically inclined, I was worried about that. I think my problem too, I was reading too many blogs and reading about everybody and all their issues and everything, and I was scared to death. Because I was reading people who had brand new RVs having problems, people with older ones having problems. Although I have to admit, I think I've heard more from new people, or new RVs having problems than the older ones. That was probably my biggest fear, is just not knowing how to do everything. But it's a learning process.
It's like anything, the fear of the unknown. My biggest thing is I just don't know, and I can't say for sure what's going to happen. But you know what? That's life, no matter what you're doing. So you may as well just do it. Just do it. It'll all work itself out, I figure, one way or another. I mean, it either goes great or it doesn't, and you just move on.
Anybody who wants to do this, do it. You've got nothing to lose by doing it. Because you can always go back to what you were doing or where you were at. But, you may question yourself more in the future if you don't do it. Well, what if I would have done it? Do it. You got nothing to lose.